Okay, here we go. In front of you, you see a bunch of stuff here, the little patterns I had done. And I was leaving a little bit of the wood on so I'd have something to hold on to while I carve. It's a good idea if you're not not a seasoned carver, or even if you are. It's nice to be able to hang on to something. I accidentally cut out the flag a little bit too early, but what we'll do is we'll make a little hole there. We'll be able to stick little things for the different seasons on him as we go. And one of the things that I forgot to do, and somebody mentioned it on Facebook, and I thought absolutely right. Usually when they pour out the honey, it usually pours over top or it's overflowing with honey. And because it's empty and because this is going to be pushed in, it's going to overflow some of the honey. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take a pencil here, if I can get it picked up here, and we're going to draw this little wavy line that you see here, okay, for the running over of the honey. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and all I'm going to do is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray it a little bit, and I'm going to just use a V-tool for that, for part of it. I'll just show you exactly how it's going to be done here. And we're just going to follow this up and around. Alright, just like so. And just very carefully follow it out. You notice how I have my thumb leaning up against it and just doing a little bit at a time. You do not have to take things in one swipe. Okay, and there we go. That's what I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this knife and I'm just going to undercut a little bit from the bottom up, alright, to give it a little bit of a lip there. Just like so. Perfect. Alright, so that's our overflowing jar. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me. That just adds a little more to the piece. And we'll take care of that. Thank you very much, Victoria, on Facebook, for pointing that out for me. I appreciate that. Alright. Alright, so there's the jar with this kind of running over it, and because it's kind of running over, this can't be really a harsh. We're going to blend that in just a little bit. So much little detail you can do on this little thing. Okay, so there's our jar with the honey over it, you know, running over it, and we're going to go to the next little project. Since Valentine's Day is coming, we're going to do this one first. I almost broke it off. I almost sawed it off and realized that it was taking a bit too far. I'm going to take, because there's no really detail in the heart itself, I'm going to try to take this paper off first. So we're just going to chop that off. It will dull your knife a little bit. Paper is not good for your knives, but I'll tell you, it's a great way to put your pattern on there. See how easy that was? Now if it's larger and you need to take that off, what you can do is take a hair dryer, heat it up with a hair dryer on high for a couple of seconds, get it started. It should peel right off. An old electrician guy told me about that when he tries to get name tags off of stuff or off of new items that he puts in into a household, and they usually have a lot of stickers. He takes a hair dryer and it softens up the glue, and he can take that right off. So if you have a hard time or you don't have the room on here to cut it off, then use the hair dryer to take it off. Okay, so we're just going to figure out where the point is here. Let's do that first. And we're just going to put this, and we're going to just paint it red. We're just going to round it up as a heart. Pretty simple. You can put anything on there as writing as you want. What I would do is use a Sharpie pen. You got to be careful because the grain is running up and down, okay, on this, because you want the strength to go into the stem. Okay, you don't want this is the way it's running. You don't want to put your pattern on this way You know, you don't want it turned this way because you want that strength in that little stem that's going to be sticking into the jar. I haven't figured out how to do all of them yet. And you want to take all the hard pieces off, of course. I'm just going to spray it just slightly just to help me along a little bit. You know, I love this stuff. At first I didn't care for it, but I'll tell you, as I began to realize how much intricate detail you can do without putting a lot of pressure on stuff, that has been a wonderful little okay. We're going to do the sides first. Just get rid of the sides and round everything up. It's not going to be anything fancy for the heart. You know, the heart's going to be kind of plain. You can put "Be Mine" on it, or "Be," you know, you can say "Be My Honey." You know, so that's kind of matching that what you have there. That's up to you. So we're just going to round it off. I'm just going to put a little bit of a, there we go. That's it. Nothing super hard. And we'll show you how this is going to look. Let's take this off of here. Well, let's take the stem down a little bit while we have it here. I'm going to take all this rough stuff off the back. One side's going to be kind of flat. This is more like a relief carving. Don't worry about that at all. Let's see how that's going to, oh, it's going to go in too far. Now you're going to have to chop this out a little bit to make that come apart there. There we go. Now, of course, this is too wide, right? And that's way too wide, so we're going to take down the stem. And if it's not long enough, what you can also do is put a little pin in there to make it fit. Okay. I'm trying to think if we can bring that up a little further. Take this out. Match the body a little bit. Wasn't sure how this is going to work, so I'm going to have to kind of custom each one to the roundness of his belly there. So there we go. Alright, so there's the one piece. We're going to take this down just a little bit further and round it up a little bit, and then that will be the Valentine one. Okay, very simple. And I was thinking of, well, what do you do with the pieces that aren't being used? And I might have a solution for that. Give me a day or so to figure that out, and we'll come back with a nice little, hopefully a nice little solution, if I can find what I'm looking for. If I can't find what I'm looking for, well then, I'm trying to get that right in there. Okay, see? Alright, that's the Valentine one. Now I'll clean it up a little bit better. We'll be right back.